Motion to accept the treasury report.
So moved.
Okay. Opposed? Or I should say second.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Looking for mute on there, Carl? It's on the top.
And I'm going to have the bill for the pull-up poster. I've got the paperwork. And get that.
Oh, yeah, just get it, go ahead and get that to Tom, we'll get that taken care of. Perfect, thank you. And thank you, Mike, for taking care of that. For those of you that may not know, we had a vertical banner made. Mike took care of it. Actually, I have it on my car, because I thought I was gonna give it to Jeff if he was here today. But we did have that made. We had it at the craft sale. It was actually really useful at the craft sale. It's got a big picture of a scroll saw on it. So we made it all on a saw like this. I must have done it 100 times at the craft sale, pointing to the saw on the banner. But it's a real nice banner. Shows. I should have brought it in. But that's good. Anyway, you'll see. I'll bring it in later. We'll see it. Okay. So moving on to club updates. So we did have the Woodworkers Guild Expo on the 11th. We had a really big turnout. It was big. So we got a new interested person coming in, which is great. But we had fill out 2 or 3 sign-up sheets. It was pretty good. But I was there all day. It was really busy. It was really nice. We had a lot of people there. We had a ton of stuff to show, which is great because we had a real variety on that table. I mean, it wasn't just a bunch of fretwork, a bunch of Intarsia. It was Tarsia, fretwork, 3D, every skill level, every possible incarnation. So I appreciate everyone bringing in their stuff and doing that. We had 2 people with saws. Roger brought his saw in, so did Jeff. We were cutting out stuff at the sale. I think it went about as good as it possibly could have gone. And I appreciate everyone coming out and doing that. So then on the 18th, we had the craft sale. Fortunately, the craft sale was a little, I mean, I don't think anyone was selling it. I don't know if it was just timing. I'm not sure. It seemed like it didn't get the traffic it got last year. But, whatever, it's okay. We still made a little bit of money on it. And, we're doing it. We're not a business. I feel bad for anyone who was trying to do a business. That really is tough if you're trying to, make a living or make money doing that. That's what, for us, it's just, hey, it's a fundraiser, we made a little money, great, no big deal. But again, we had a lot of stuff out there. I was amazed. I was a little nervous thinking we weren't gonna have that much, and I show up and we're overflowing with stuff that you guys all made and donated, which is excellent. And I really appreciate, the club, everyone in the club appreciates everything you guys did for bringing it in. I wish we would have sold a little bit more, but hey, that's the way it goes. And then speaking of the stuff from the craft sale, on the back table is what we had left over. We had quite a bit left over, so we didn't want to just send it all to the boutique. It would overwhelm them a little bit. So if your stuff is back there and you'd like to take it back and then bring it back next year, that's certainly fine. Or anyone doesn't want this, anyone sees anything back that they're interested in, talk to Tom, throw him an offer, throw us a few bucks, you can take it home. Otherwise, we're gonna donate it to the boutique. So any money, if you buy something, that money just goes right to the club fund. So but keep that in mind. If you see something back there, hey, I wouldn't mind taking that, go for it. On that note too, there are 2 sleighs over on the other table over there that Mike Evans brought in. He said whoever would like to have them can have them. He's got some plans for some reindeer and Santas that go with them. So if anyone would like to go ahead and take those home, please do.
What are they?
They're sleighs, like Santa's sleigh.
Santa's sleigh.
Oh, sleighs.
Yeah, Santa's sleigh, and then there's a reindeer and a Santa that goes with them. He's got the patterns from over there, but the sleighs are completed. So anyone who's interested, please feel free to take those. And thank you, Mike. I'm sure someone will be able to use those and finish that project. I guess Mike made a whole bunch of them. He had a few left over, so that's great. Okay, so TLC Toys report, Roger?
We've got, last week we took in 60 cars, a total of 1,496. Paintables, we took in 162. For the year, it's 1,666. So we're doing pretty good. Right now, they want to work on Christmas gnomes and also the Christmas trees. That's what they want right now. So if we can get going on those, and if you got a spare place, put an ornament in there or whatever, use up as much wood as you can. If you got empty space, that would help. I got plenty of Baltic birch out there, I got pine, I got cedar, so. Help yourself, it's all free. They tell me I'm a poor salesman, I can't even sell stuff free.
Yeah, so if you're looking, if you need wood, you wanna do stuff at TLC Toys, talk to Roger, he's got it, talk to Roger, he's always got plenty of wood out there. Yeah, again, Roger's the expert on TLC, sorry, we're getting, the technical difficulties throwing me off here. All right. Okay, so moving on, there you go.
I would think it was just that screen.
So, I did get contacted from the Woodworkers Guild. Acme Tools in Rochester, they have a new store in Rochester, they're having a woodworking event on this coming Friday and Saturday. I know it was short notice. I did have an email sent out to everyone, you should have gotten it, talking about that. Jeff Dad mentioned he's interested, he's not here today, I'll reach out to him and find out if he's still planning on doing that. But if you're interested, just let me know, I'll be forwarding, as soon as we get out of the meeting here today, this afternoon, I'll email him back and get the details that we need on that, if anyone's interested. They said that is in Rochester, I know it's a bit of a haul for most of us, but, I know most of us, most not.
So the sales at
Nothing like
Acme in Rochester are not the ones in the Twin Cities?
Right, it's a grand opening event at the Acme in Rochester. Apparently they're opening a new location down there. The manager there is apparently he's really interested in trying to get with the local woodworking community, trying to get some interest going. They're gonna see, and his thing when he said that anytime during business hours, Friday or Saturday, he'd provide tables, electricity, and everything set up, and he's perfectly flexible when we wanna be there. But like I said, it is in Rochester, so I just wanna throw it out there, if whoever's interested, let me know, I'll get you the details. Okay. Then just on a personal note, just let you know, I won't be here next month. I'm sure you're all disappointed you won't get to see my smiling face for a month. I will be on vacation. But next month is December, and December is traditionally our holiday party. So what we do, anyone who hasn't been here before, we usually have a potluck. Everyone feel free to bring in whatever you would like. We'll have a nice meal, we'll set everything up here. If you were here in past years at Creekside, we were limited on what we could bring because of some of the rules of Creekside. At the church here, we're much freer. We can pretty much bring whatever we want. If you want to bring cookies to share, if you want to bring something else to eat, whatever you want to bring, feel free. And what we'll do is we'll have our meeting like we do now. Bill's vice president, so he gets to do it next December. It's real easy, Bill, I promise. I'll write everything up for you. Yeah, and so we'll just have a brief meeting announcements. We'll do what we do here, our show and tell, and then we'll just have a nice time to socialize for an hour or so. It's always a nice kind of a relaxing time, especially this last month was crazy busy for me. I had something every weekend for the club, so I'm looking forward to a break. That's the other thing I forgot to mention, that last Sunday, Steve and I were over at Woodcraft in Bloomington. We had our class over there. We were supposed to have 4 people, we ended up with 3, which is still good. And it went really well, and we had 3 really enthusiastic people that showed up, and I thought they had a good time. Did you have anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, it was a really nice, it's a nice setting, it's a nice room, plenty of room, and each person had their own saw, so it went very smoothly.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a class, that's kind of the place to do it, especially because they've got a really nice setup there. It's really easy to get in and out. You literally pull around the back door and you walk right into the classroom. You don't have to walk to the store. It's right there. They've got benches and power and space to set up. I wouldn't want to do too many more than 4. I think it gets out of hand. And I'm guessing they're probably gonna want us to do that again at some point. And it's nice too, because the club does make a little bit of money off of that one, because I think that they're charging, what, $120 a head? So it's $120 per person that takes the class, and we get to keep half the money. So, because there was 4 people, the one didn't show up, they don't get their money back, they didn't show up. We still get the $240 for that. So, but no, it was a 4-hour class. By the end, we had them cutting out swans.
Yeah.
That's kind of my goal, if I can, and they were all new, some had a little experience, but they were all pretty fresh, pretty new. And by the end of the class, they were doing pretty darn good. Yeah, they were cutting out swans and everything else. And Steve did a really good job creating a program. It's just, had a really nice program and it went really well. And then, okay, on a real personal note, somebody had talked to me at the Woodworking Expo, and I'm sorry because I talked to so many people that day, it was so busy. And they were interested in the jet saw I have. I'm selling my small jet. And they said they were gonna be here at the meeting today. If it was one of you, I apologize, I don't remember who I talked to. It just gets so crazy at those events, and it was so busy. So if that was one of you, please come up and see me. Otherwise, Mike, I'll talk to you about that if no one comes up here. I'll talk to you after the break. So that was just and I also have a DeWalt saw. So when anyone's looking for a saw, I have 2 saws in my car right now. I've got a DeWalt and the Jet. If the other person, I wish I remember what it was. I kind of remember, but I don't see him here.
Did you get that $100 DeWalt, or did that go to somebody else?
Somebody beat me to that one.
Okay.
No. So that, all right. So moving on. Anyone have anything they want to add? Anyone bring up that anything coming up or along those lines? Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Christmas early.
Thank you, Gar.
We had a memorial service for my dad. My dad was 104 years old when he hit his head and banged his head. But we had a memorial service, that was in July. But anyways, we had a big service yesterday, but not enough people showing up to eat food. So I've got some potato salad and some sandwiches for anybody that wants to eat that. And if you don't want to eat it now, during break, you can always take a sandwich home.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm glad I asked.
Thank you.
Okay. So tip of the day, so Mike has one, but I actually have one today, and it's a good one. So I recently bought a new scroll saw. John and I bought the same one. It's that Bailey saw. If you remember, I did the presentation a few months ago about the scroll saw buying guide. I said that there was that Bailey that was out there. Well, it kind of disappeared, but it came back up, and John and I got ours for $500. They're back up to $650. If you're looking for a new saw, that Bailey's is basically a jet. I think they're gonna go down to $500 again, probably for Black Friday is my guess. But they're sold by CPO, but through Walmart, which is a weird deal. But right now they're $650 with free shipping. But anyway, beside the point. So my saws, I use the Harbor Freight adjustable height tool stand. It's a $40 stand. It's a cheap stand, but you know it's the best. It's pretty much identical to the Jet one they sell for $200. But I found, so I put that, you know, I want to put it all together. I slap a piece of plywood on the top. You got to put a plywood top on it. Stuck my Bailey on there, and it was bouncing across the floor. And I'm like, I clamped it down, and I put rubber feet on it, and it was bouncing across the floor. Finally figured out the position of your saw on the table matters. So I had it just what I thought was center, but it was kind of back a little bit. All I had to do is I pulled that saw forward about 4 inches, smooth as can be. You need to find the center of gravity of your saw. And it's going to be different on every saw. And essentially the center of that saw, I mean, wherever the center of that gravity is, so basically the center of gravity means if I set the saw on a point, and center of gravity means it's equal on either side. And you need to find the center of gravity of your table. Now that sounds really complicated. All you really do is just move it around the table till you find where it wants to be. But once I found that if I had it too far back, it would literally start bouncing across the floor. But once I moved it ahead a little bit and bolted it down, and it's smooth as can be. So if you're using the stand your saw came with, like you have a DeWalt, or if you have a Pegasus and you bought the stand, this is irrelevant because those stands are made for those saws. But if you don't want to spend $200 on a $40 stand, and you want to go get the one for Harbor Freight like I did, which they are great stands, I use them for several tools. Just keep in mind that take your saw, take a couple clamps, clamp it down, and try moving it around until you find that sweet spot where it wants to sit. It was crazy. I couldn't put I just bought this saw. This thing can't vibrate like that, and I just realized I moved it about 3-4 inches up, and now it's perfect. I just kept moving it until I found the sweet spot, and so. That's kind of I thought it was something I want to share because that was frustrating to me. It's like, what the heck, you know, this should be a really nice, why is it bouncing like that?
So did you bolt it down now?
Yeah, it's bolted down now, yeah. All right, Mike, you wanna bring your tip? Let's go for it. Let's do two.
Okay, well, there's some stuff over on that table. Now Greg has a sander for sale, right?
Yep,
Oh, yeah, thank
You
you.
wanna say anything about it?
it's a flat sander, it's got a drum about that long, that's got, a strip of sandpaper wrapped around it with Velcro that you run your part over, and spinning it makes the Velcro open up a little bit to where it sands.
All right,
So,
If you ever saw the sand flea, that's what the sand flea, they call it a drum sander. When I think of a drum sander, I'm thinking of the kind that has a belt that pulls it through. But sand flea made a version of that. Hegner actually makes a sander that looks just like that as well. Although I've noticed it's not marketed much in the US, it's more marketed, you can get it, but it's marketed more in Germany. But it's that same idea where you take your piece and you just run it across that sander. It's kind of a neat idea. I haven't tried one, but I
Did
think
you make it, Greg?
no, I found it at a deal on Marketplace and got it home and never actually did anything with it. And
I've seen that design. You can make that. There is a design out there for that particular. I forget who had it.
Flatmaster makes one too, a Canadian company.
Yeah, I said Sand Flea was around. They were at the expo down in Dubuque a few years ago, and I don't know if they went out of business or what, but I haven't seen anything from Sand Flea in a long time. But they made same thing, a version of that. So same idea.
yeah, I've got the website that sells it. They still sell the kit. It's just
Okay.
The shaft and the bearings. And
That must have been where I saw the plan. Yeah.
And they also have plans for building the box,
Yep.
and they sell the sandpaper and stuff, so.
All right. If anyone's interested in that, go ahead and give it there.
I'm somewhat interested for just having it for one project. Nobody is real strongly interested. I'll take it and I'll finish my project, which I've been avoiding for a few years. And then I'll bring it back so somebody else can have a shot at it later.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if anybody else has got other plans they'd like, let me know.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
okay, we'll start with the raffle. We have 3 cups left over from St. Luke's sale, and I'm gonna send this around. If you're interested, we'll draw 3 names here at the end or right before or after break. And so go ahead and put your name in here. There's little pieces of paper and a pencil. Let's pass that around. All right, well, a lot of us do gluing, and so I bought this pad at Rockler. And the nice thing about these silicone pads is glue doesn't stick to them. So I kind of lay this on my bench, and then I bought some of these things, which I think were from Michael's, and I don't remember now anymore, but it's also silicone. So you can slop glue all over and it just dries and you just peel it off, whatever.
I was shocked, even epoxy will not stick.
Really?
Epoxy, Gorilla Glue, pops right off.
How about any of that spray adhesive?
I haven't tried that on, because I have the brushes and I did epoxy with the brush, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw this away. Popped right off.
Yep. And then they have this little box, you can put some glue in, and you can put the top back on, it'll kind of stay fresh for you, and then you just pour it back in your glue container. And then it had this little brush, and that's kind of handy for like the edge of a 3/4 inch piece. Go ahead and you can do it without having to stick your fingers in it. But your fingers are always good for small pieces, so.
They make some
Anyway.
smaller brushes too, which are really nice, and they're really tiny, the detail stuff I do. They make some
Yep.
really thin, little tiny brushes.
That way
you lick your fingers after.
Yeah. Then if you want to, you could always pour some glue on Rockler, and then you'd have their name backwards when you peel it out of there. If you don't have anything to do.
Say, Mike,
Yeah.
I used to sell those things at Rockler, the sheets.
Yeah?
The other thing they're really good for is in the kitchen is a giant hot pad. If you're taking something out of the oven, you needed someplace to put it, put it on one of those. They're wonderful.
It won't melt, eh?
No, it's.
Oh.
No, silicone is heat resistant, yeah.
All right.
It's like heat resistant, I think. up
Do
to
they have different sizes than this, Reed? Different
There are
sizes?
two different sizes.
Now, there's a big one.
I've got one that we put on our island and it never leaves there and it cleans
Wow.
as easily as anything I've ever seen.
All right, well, good tip. Well, thank you.
And Mike, with your talking about glue, of course, I do more with the woodworking. I use by gallon quantities.
Yeah.
I'll buy like a ketchup condiment bottle and dump into there and then dispense with that. And that works good. And I don't even put the cover back on. It sits there for months.
No problem.
Bill?
idea.
Also, next time you go to your favorite fast food place and you know how you get the little ketchup in a little small plastic thing, just grab a couple of extra because that works well for glue and then you can just throw that away. And it didn't cost you anything because you paid for the hamburger.
Yeah, right.
Another good one is, like on your envelopes, you get the cellophane window, you can use that as well. Your glue will peel right off of it.
Stick to that.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost anything.
All
Yeah.
good tips. Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Anyone else have anything they wanted to add in case I missed you? All right, we'll go ahead and do show and tell. Not too much today. We got a couple cool looking things here. Who wants to go first? Mike, you can go first. All right.
Well, I could tell that there wouldn't be many things for show and tell today, so I decided I had to bring something for you. This is one of the pumpkins that I carved 2 days ago, just to keep people aware that your pumpkins don't have to be just jack-o'-lantern cut like that. I did 2 different pumpkins. One was sculptured like this. The other was etched into the pumpkin with careful adjustments about how deep and how big and things, and then lit from the inside so that it was a werewolf with his furry ears and everything that glowed. So just a reminder, there's lots of other fun ways to do with pumpkins.
Yeah, there's the website where I brought in the pumpkins last month. The website where I get a lot of those patterns, they have the kind of patterns that I do, they're cut out, but they also have a ton of the etch style patterns. I can't use them for what I'm doing, but there are thousands and thousands of those etch patterns where you take where you just carve this.
Basically, it's fretwork on a pumpkin.
Yeah, only you're not cutting through, you're just
Yeah.
cutting, you're shading by how deep you go, how you get some really cool effects. Basically what Mike has.
The other thing that I want to remind people about is our Woodcarvers Club does a tree for the Festival of Trees. Hiawatha Home has a big fundraiser that they put on each year, and they have 80 to 100 decorators come in and decorate Christmas trees. The woodcarvers have been doing this for 36 years, where we decorate the tree completely with handmade wooden ornaments and decorations. And we also do a scene underneath the tree. This year for our scene, we decided that we're going to do a big top circus. So it's instead of a tree skirt, there's going to be a red and white striped circus tent. And then around the perimeter of the tent, we're going to have animals, clowns, other characters, circus wagons, things like that. And I've been working on a few different aspects, and one of them is the oversized banners that you hang by your circus. And we have decided to call this the Carver and Turner Circus. We've got the Wood Carver Club. We also invite the Zumbro Valley Wood Turners to make ornaments and things with us. So instead of Barnum and Bailey, we're the Carver and Turner Circus. So I brought a couple of the big banners that it's going to be tied up to a wooden frame and things like that. So we welcome anybody that would like to come down to Rochester. The show is free. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday after Thanksgiving. And I've got some bookmarks that tell you what the time is, and even a link to the webpage that tells you about all the road construction and how to get into downtown Rochester safely. So please, grab one of these if you think you might want to come, because we've got all the information there, so.
So have your members been carving the pieces for the circus?
Yeah,
Wow.
yes, yeah, we're doing all sorts of things. I mean, there's gonna be a clown dangling from a trapeze, and that's going to be suspended from the bottom branches of the tree over the rest of the things. We've got some animal acts, and I don't even know exactly how much of what we're gonna get, but they're coming across very nicely, yeah. We've got seals and bears, and I don't know if we're gonna get a lion or not. One of the last ones that I'm encouraging somebody to do is a little kid trying to peek underneath the big top.
There you go.
And I'm trying to encourage that, because you don't have to do a face, you don't have to do hands. You're talking about a rear end and a couple boobs. So.
And there
So-
will not be
All
any
right.
scenes of Washington DC, correct?
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. All right, who'd like to go next?
So, last month we had a video that Bill had shown how to build some bowls. And what I didn't see in that presentation was how to press it and keep the bowl, put the mold together. I made some bowls in the past, and this is one of the things that was in the Carol Rothman book out. I was using some of the patterns from that. In there was how to make the press, build a press. So I just wanted to show this to anybody. Mine got interested in making bowls after that presentation. But this is if you're interested, come on up and take a look at it. It's great, and it's pretty simple to make. And just put your bowl in there. With each layer, you can press it. And anyway. That's all.
Depending on the height of the bowl, you make different spacers?
Yeah, as you build it up, you can put spacers in, you don't have to, you know, put the wing nuts down so far. And so forth. Another thing I have is, so in the winter issue of Scroll Strong Woodworking and Crafts, that's this one, I've been doing the Judy Gale Roberts fretwork that they put patterns in each issue this year. This is the fourth one as a cardinal that was in the magazine. So, and then in here it says they're gonna continue to do this next year for all their things. So they're gonna continue doing Judy Gale Roberts fretwork, which she's known for Intarsia, but she also did some fretwork and other things. So. In there, also in this same magazine, there was a Carol Rothman issue or article in here about a bowl, and so in here it's how to put the bowl together, and here's the pattern for that bowl right here. So again, if you got inspired to do bowls, yeah. Here, right in this magazine, was the expert doing it.
That's the winter one, winter 2025?
Yes.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, that's it.
Thanks, Warren. Okay, who we got left? Bill?
Oh, just
Which
just
one?
one other comment. After that presentation, 2 months ago, Katie issued a challenge for people to make the project afterwards. So clearly there's a little telepathy going on that happened. And anybody else that's interested in doing that, please do. And at some of our upcoming events, other challenges will be made. So a presentation will be made, and then for those of you who are eager beavers, you may want to say, okay, I can do that, which is the purpose in the first place. So,
Yeah, Bill's got some really good ideas for presentations about challenging us to, showing something and say, all right, everybody who wants to go out there and make it and bring it back in a month or two. Maybe give you a couple months.
or 6 months.
Or whatever you want, how's that? Because, yeah, I know we're all busy and it's tough to, I've got project, Halloween yesterday, everyone's like, oh, wow, I love all your pumpkins, do you make these for people? I'm like, no. I have a list of projects I wanna do for myself, longer than my arm. I'm not making anything for anybody else, so. Go ahead, whoever's next?
Hi, y'all.
New member, Megan.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm Megan, for those of you I didn't meet last month. First, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the warm welcome last month. I'm new here, and I'm new to this art form. I'm really enjoying it. This is such a great community, so thank you so much. Some folks last month were asking me to share the type of stuff I make, so here's a couple of examples. I'm still new, so be gentle. But this first one is mostly just kind of stack cut, and then like as you peel off a layer, you cut a little bit more so that when you paint and then glue it all back together, it kind of shows through, which is a lot of fun. Mostly the designing of it was probably more fun than the actual creating of it, to be honest.
Is that your own design, original design?
Well, by my own, I mean I printed the logo
Right,
on
but I
my
mean, when you, the
website.
overall design.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's a logo, but I mean, the whole idea was yours.
Yeah. I just printed
No,
their logo and
that's really
then
cool.
taped it all together and
Yeah.
then figured out how to layer it for the most part. And then this is a little bit of a different take on that, so it's more sort of segmentation or Intarsia, depending on, I don't really know the right terms for all of it. Yeah, I think
That would be considered segmentation. The main difference between segmentation and Intarsia, segmentation is painted
Okay,
and put together.
okay.
Intarsia is natural
Is the natural
color.
one, yeah. Because this is my first attempt at all of it, I used MDF, quite frankly, so I'm hoping to sort of branch into some of the woods, but before I got my hands on too much of that, carving is so easy, so learning how to carve with MDF has been a really nice experience. Yeah, that's all it is.
There's nothing wrong with using MDF, especially if you're gonna paint it, because
Yeah.
MDF paints really nice.
It does, it paints so smooth and it carves so easy, so. it was
Exactly,
a
there's
good foray
absolutely
into all
nothing
of
wrong
it.
with using MDF.
Yeah, so that's what I made.
Megan, what's the background there? Is that like parquet flooring or?
No, it's actually a cedar 2x4 that I had left over from some decking that I just ripped on my table saw and then edged it with a router.
Oh, okay.
I say for an advanced person, that's really amazing.
Yeah, very nice.
It's really nice. It's always nice to see the variety of things people bring in, because, I mean, we all have different interests. You never know what you're gonna see on show and tell or what people are gonna bring in, and that's great, I love it. Whatever you're doing, bring it in. I mean, we love seeing it. It definitely gives us some inspiration. I mean, I mainly do front work. I've branched into Intarsia a little bit, but that's just one corner of what you can do. Roddy's been doing a lot of 3D cutting and compound cutting, and so it's really neat to see what everyone's doing, and it's really neat to see. I mean, everything I pretty much do is I buy the design, I make it. I might modify it slightly, but to see original designs to me is really cool, because I'm not the artistic type. I call myself crafty. I'm crafty, but I'm not artistic. I let somebody else design and I just make it. But hey, that's great. And then there's nothing wrong with that. And it's great to make your own designs. I'm kind of coming up with some of my own stuff here too. But you get tired of doing other people's stuff eventually. But whatever you do, bring it in, share it. We love to see it. All right. So did anyone else have any show and tell I missed? Oh, there we go. Thank you. I'm glad I asked. Almost didn't.
All right, so I need help, that's what I need.
All right. Well, that's what we're here for.
I know, I'm going right to the source.
Going to the experts.
All right, so Elmer and I have been working on a puzzle, trying to get it cut. Okay, Mark tried it, Rogers did it, but nobody can tell me how to cut it. All right, so it's basically just the state of Minnesota. And it was done by another scroller, and I bought it at a craft show trying to get a pattern, right? Well, we can't figure out how to cut this thing.
Are you getting
So-
the cork in the bottle problem?
Huh?
Are you getting the cork in the bottle where it won't slide apart?
No, it's
Not
different.
that either, so I'm gonna leave it up here and everybody can have a shot at putting it back together. You would think it's just, easy, right?
Yeah.
4 pieces to the state of Minnesota, and if you can figure out how to cut it, we'd love to see it or hear it.
I've done hundreds of puzzles,
Don't
I
ask.
hope
the
so.
puzzle
just like that.
I hope
They're
so.
angled.
Yeah,
They're angled.
yeah, that's right, Katie
They're-
tried it
They're
too.
angled, up one
Yeah.
way and one the other.
So I'll leave it up here.
So they don't slide freely, okay. I know how to do that.
All
Try
right,
and put it together.
okay,
Okay.
there's 2. I'm gonna go sit, this is gonna be a while.
This is category number, I think it's 3.4 of puzzle categories of interlocking pieces that don't come apart easily. If you really want to know how to do it, yes, I'm privy to the secrets.
That's
Okay. Well, the person that I bought this from was not gonna share how.
Good
Yeah.
work.
Okay, well, we'll take a break. It's time for break.
Short 20-minute break.
Short 20-minute break. All right. I'll figure it out. I understand.
Anybody needs wood or has stuff to drop
Yeah,
off,
please see
I'll go
Roger.
out there.
And if anybody left the coffee cup last time, or the cups.
Mugs.
Mike, here's your,
There's
there's only 4 names in there.
Okay.
Come on, Troy, it's not that hard.
I'm sure there's a trick to it. I'm not good at puzzles.
Very nice, guys.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Did you get it?
No. I suck at that stuff.
Way too much time in front of folks talking.
What is it?
So I don't have stage.
All right, everyone, we're gonna get started here. We got, we're doing a presentation on, oh, I lost my sheet. Bill, it is sanding for Intarsia, shaping for
It's
Intarsia?
shaping.
With the Dremel tool. There you go, thank you. Sorry, I lost my sheet. It always gets crazy during the break that everyone wants to talk to me, which is great. I love talking to you. I just sold 2 saws, so it's not a problem. But it gets a little hectic. So, but we'll go ahead and get started here. Clint, you wanna come up and we'll get started?
A couple things
Oh,
first.
sure.
Does anybody know who made this basket? Did you make it?
Wow.
Why don't you talk to Angela? Pass
Let's
this
move the
back.
table over here.
Pass it.
You wanna move it over there? Okay.
Are we supposed to put money in that?
It is a church, you gotta pass it around.
And we only got 3 people that put their names in for the mugs, so they each get a mug.
Is there anyone else who wants one?
So that's Diane, Sheila S., and Katie. So come on up and get your mug. And there was one other thing. Oh,
Mugs at home now.
I had talked to a guy at the expo, and he owns Discount Lumber outfit. And one of their biggest money makers is he owns a manufacturing company in Shakopee, and they make thousands, millions of feet of baseboard. And he said we could come over and take a little tour if we wanted to, but we can't do it on a Saturday, so it won't work for that. But is anybody interested in seeing something like that sometime, I don't know when, during the week, Monday through Friday, and he'd give us a tour, so.
Down about the sawdust.
Oh, yeah, and they go through 2 semi-loads of sawdust a week that they sell to farmers up north for bedding.
What do you want us to, film it when we do the tour, do you think?
Yeah, we could take
And then we can
pictures.
film it and show it here.
Well, I suppose, yeah, you didn't seem to have any objections.
I've got a gimbal that holds a cell phone.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I wouldn't be able to do it in the week because I'm working, but whoever ends up doing it, let me know. I can get you the gimbal because what that does, it gives you a steady, it keeps your, yeah, right. It's just, you put your phone in and it's like a gyroscope. keeps your phone level, even no matter how you move it.
But if we get, half a dozen or 10 people.
I just thought it might be kind of nice to film it if you bring it in.
Yeah, so think about that, and we'll get back to that later.
Bill, go ahead.
So again, Warren was jolly on the spot in terms of bringing in a bowl and talk us through it. If you looked at the newsletter, there were 3 pictures of bowls on the newsletter, and they all were Steve Good's patterns. And Steve Good's patterns are for free. But I did bring in 2 for those of you who might be interested in the pattern and stuff, because I know getting a pattern to work off of sometimes is difficult. And in fact, one of the things I think we ought to consider as an organization is making more patterns available to each other. Because again, that's where most of us start from. So I'm gonna leave these up here. And with that, we're gonna go on with our fabulous speaker.
Just one thing with patterns, we do need to be careful with patterns before we start distributing them, because a lot of them are copyrighted. So we do need to be careful with that. But if we have patterns with Steve Good, totally fine. You can distribute those as much as you want. He's fine with that. I have quite a few patterns for companies that are no longer in business. Some of those, but we gotta be careful. If you buy a pattern and it's still for sale from a company, buy that pattern. Because if we don't, those companies are gonna go out of business. And so many companies have gone out of business in the last 20 years. I mean, there are just, I could list, 30 companies that made patterns that are no longer there. So we wanna support anyone that does.
But many of them have a disclaimer that says this is for personal use, not to be used commercially. So again, unless you're mass producing them, I think you're following
Right.
those organizations.
We're good. All right, Clint, you wanna come up and we'll get started? Kind of move you over here. I think it'd be a little bit easier for everyone to see.
Yeah, until they get to,
So you get to that, yeah. When you need me to, you just say so.
I was asked to do this because, apparently a lot of people, are not familiar with the rotary tools for sanding. And, that's about all I use. I do probably 90% of mine with, rotary tools. And then I have, a little 1-inch band, sander. And, I have all kinds of sanders, but I find that the rotary tools are the most convenient for me and the most versatile.
So I'm gonna interrupt you. So just so anyone who doesn't know Clinton's work, Clinton, how many times you won the state fair? All of them? Clinton has done some beautiful work. If you saw his stuff at the state fair, what did you win for the last supper was that this year?
Yeah, I've done 4 out of 5 in the last 5 years.
And they're all about like that big. They're huge Intarsia pieces.
I missed 1 year because I didn't get registered in time.
I don't even bother trying to enter Intarsia because I know Clint's doing it.
But now I've run out of big patterns to,
Okay.
so if anybody knows the source for big interesting Intarsia patterns, let me know. So I'll show you what I do, how I start with my rotary tool sanding. These are some that I just cut out to show you how it works. Now, the other thing I do is I take the pattern and I use a double back adhesive on it. I cover the back of the pattern with that, and then I cut out the individual pieces with just a knife. So I just make 2 copies, one to lay the stuff on as I'm building it up, and the other one to have the adhesive on the back, and then cut out the pattern pieces. And then I start with, when I'm gonna sand, I start with a coarse drum on there, and what I do is I determine how much of a bend I want, how much I want to sand the corners. And I'll go start with, I just want a light indent. I'll go to like, I'll put it at a 45-degree angle and just, I can see when I do that way, I can see when I've got about just a real light, about a 1/16 inch wide flat spot there. And then if I wanna go a little more, and by doing that, you can easily see if you're getting it even. Because you don't want, in most cases, you want it pretty even. And I'll go on down to like 3/16 of an inch. And then I just lightly hit on each side of that. And that's what the course. And then I just come along and
Is that a different grit? What's different between those?
yeah, they're different grits. Yeah, this is very coarse, and that gets you down in a hurry.
Are you talking like an 80 grit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's probably what, about 120?
This is probably, I think like 240.
Oh, okay, so you go right from 80 to 240.
Yeah. And then, once I've got that done, you'll have it pretty good, but you'll see some indications of little ridges or something. Then I take this 3M sanding sponge, and I just hit it like that. And you'll see all that's gone. And then I usually hit it with another one.
That's 320, looks like. So that 3M sanding sponge is medium, so I guess that's probably 120, and then that flexible one is 320.
That's a 320.
Yeah.
And then it's all done. And when I get to like a sharp inside corner, you can't get these in there. So I do a 1/4 inch one for smaller places.
So you're fitting the sander to the spot. Smaller sanders in smaller corners, bigger sanders in bigger corners, essentially.
And then you'll get some that are sharp corners. And I
Hold that up
have
so everyone can see what that looks like. It's kind of a pyramid shape. For really getting in that, there he goes.
Yeah.
cone shape.
Yeah, cone shape, there, that's what I'm looking for.
And that one is a diamond bit. I've been using the same one for years, and it's still just like new, so they don't wear out. And that one, I can still get my sponge in there if I need to. So
Are all your bits from Dremel, or do you source
I
bits
use-
from a number of places?
I use different ones. These are Dremel. These are Ryobi. This is an off-brand, it's called a work pro. I bought this one it was real cheap, and I wanted to see if it was any good. And I actually like it. It works very well.
I think the question was, is where do you get the bits?
I usually buy them, from Amazon. The drums also, the sanding drums,
Are you just buying generic ones or are you buying Dremel?
I just buy generic.
Generic ones?
They don't last as long as the Dremel ones, but you can buy them so cheap.
They're probably a third the price of the Dremels, if not less.
Yeah, well, even that, I buy them and they come in by the hundred.
You're buying 100 pack, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey Troy,
Yeah,
on the view, the real tight view one, was he using that
that
when it
one,
comes to a point? or
yes,
is it-
where it comes into a sharp point.
that comes in a set of, diamond bits. And there's probably, like 25 different shapes and sizes in the plastic package.
So he was using it in this little corner you see right here. Remember right above my finger? That's a real sharp corner. That's where he was using that diamond bit. You get that sharp, sort of.
What was sharper than that, I wonder?
I think that's about as sharp as you're gonna get, because in Intarsia, it's always about contouring and rounding. You don't have a real tight corner. It's gonna be a tight corner, but it's gonna still be rounded. It's still gonna have some roundness, right?
Yeah. And there's also, in that same kit, is like an eighth of an inch round one. And you can do that in real tight places,
Right in those corners.
like this, where you've got a tight little spot. And that works real well too. There's in that kit from, I think, it's real cheap, but it seems to me like they were like $10 or $15
Yeah.
for the whole set. And they last really, really a long time.
So your point is you don't have to spend a ton of money to get something that's gonna work just fine for what you're doing.
Right. And now they have a drum for that you can pull it out and then the sleeve comes right off.
Sure, some of them have a little set screw and it expands that rubber seal, where this one, if you can kind of see there, yeah, so pushing it down, it's got it pops off. So it must have like a taper shaft.
Yeah.
And then when you pull it back, it pops up, and then you pull it down, it expands the rubber and grabs it.
That
That seems like it'd be a lot easier.
That's really nice.
I have the old style where you tighten that little screw with a tiny little screwdriver.
Yeah.
That'll drive you nuts.
This one, that's only available in the 1/2 inch,
Okay.
so that's kind of a problem. This sandpaper, it's a 3M product, I can't find it anymore. I just love it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of that. I used to buy it at Home Depot. They don't have any more?
Now, Home Depot's got it in the automotive, in the
In the
finishing
paint-
part.
Yeah, the paint and sand, yeah.
Yeah,
I buy
the
it.
painting department.
Okay, so yeah, so that's where I got it. I have a whole bunch of that. I love it too. It's really nice for doing the Intarsia stuff.
Yeah.
Try Home Depot.
Really?
Yeah, they had it in the sandpaper.
Plastic backed?
Yeah, it's kind of that, it's got that shiny, smooth plastic back.
The nice thing about that is you can wash it off with water.
Oh, yeah, it's great stuff.
So
It's
it
like-
lasts a long time.
Yeah, they use that a lot for automotive.
Like a silicone bag.
Yeah, no, that stuff's slick.
So I love that stuff.
Kind of like a rubber almost.
Is there any more questions on the sanding?
Alright, so yeah, Intarsia, I can tell you from a little bit I've done, it's a lot of shaping, a lot of sanding. There's a real artistry to getting those pieces to flow into one another. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm working on it. I'll get there eventually. Eventually, I'll get the cleanse level maybe. But yeah, there is a lot of, I always say with fretwork, it's just simply following a pattern, getting as close as you can. With Intarsia, it's follow the pattern, and then you got to figure out the artistry of getting that to flow like you want.
Yeah.
So, when you're doing Intarsia, you start in your sanding, and then you're putting the pieces together as you go, right? Because you would have to maybe resand something, or for the pieces that fit together?
Well, sometimes, yeah, you have to tweak the parts to get them to fit right. But you wanna lay it on your pattern and build it as you go, but you don't want to let it wander off your pattern. Because pretty soon you're gonna be off and you can't recover it.
So do you lay your pattern out, cut all your pieces, place them on the pattern, and then start shaping?
I don't like to do all the cutting and then do the sanding. I like to break it up and I'll cut out a section, then sand it and put it. On the smaller pieces, I never use backing, it's just too much bother cutting it out. So I edge glue them together. And then a lot of times I'll put a rock hard water putty on the back to fill any cracks that might show up from the front.
Okay.
So you don't see any light through it.
Sure. Mike, do you have a question?
I did stained glass for 30 years, so doing that kind of stuff is easy. Because wood is a lot more forgiving than trying to cut glass and make everything fit when you're doing it. So if you ever did stained glass, doing this kind of wood stuff is a lot easier other than having to shape your wood.
Yeah, you can't take a piece of glass and sand the edges.
Yeah.
You gotta cut it and it better be right.
Wow.
Yeah, Roger.
Now, when you're laying that out, where do you start, like in the middle or a certain place, or?
I start usually at the bottom and work my way up.
When I did stained glass, I always started in the middle because it was easier to fix your edges.
Or wouldn't you start where the most detail is and start out from there? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't really matter where you start, as long as you lay it on the pattern and it fits exactly.
Yeah, you're keeping it in the pattern. You have a copy of the pattern laying down and you're putting the pieces on there, making sure they all match.
Right.
And as you go, so that everything fits. Because you're just building on as you go. You're starting at bottom and you just build the next level coming up.
Tolerance will build up in a hurry on you.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing, when I'm cutting, I don't rush the cutting at all, because you can spend so much more time trying to get them to fit together. Spend your time cutting slowly and just stick right to the edge of the pattern, I mean, that you're cutting out. When you do it that way, your pieces, because you have the cut pattern on the piece of wood, if you cut exactly where you've got it laid out on the wood, they're gonna fit together better. If you just cut them out on a line, that tolerance is gonna kill you.
So do you use this particular inside, outside, or edge that you cut on because the line has?
I use the edge, the cut edge of the piece that I've cut out.
Are you on the outside of the pattern? Outside of the line? On the outside
Right
part
down
of
the
the wood?
middle of the
Doesn't
line.
matter where you cut it.
I guess, yeah, as long as you're consistent.
Because the other piece is gonna match the one you cut anyway.
Right, like when I cut right down the middle of the line. I like thin line patterns. Most of the patterns I have, like Judy Gale Roberts patterns, are thin line.
Yeah.
You cut and basically your blade removes that line as you cut. There's basically nothing left. You go right down the middle and the line's gone. That way, that's how I do it. I'm assuming that's kind of how you're doing it.
Yeah.
If I look at your pieces here, I can see, it's hard to see here, but the line is basically gone. The width of the blade is about the same as the width of the line, so the line's gone. If you have line hanging out, that means you got off a little bit, and that's not what you want. You basically want the line to disappear.
But it doesn't matter if you're off, because the matching piece is gonna be off also.
Right.
So that way,
What blade do you use normally?
What blade?
I use mostly, this is like 5/8. I use a 5. I use a 5 mostly.
What brand blade do you use? What brand of blade do you use?
I use the ones from Judy Robbins.
Oh, I forget what she has, yeah.
I don't know what brand they are because she puts her name on them.
Yeah.
But they are very little more than like Olson and those. But they last longer and they're stiffer. So they cut more accurately because you don't tend to push it sideways.
So when you're cutting, is your table slanted or flat?
Flat.
It is flat.
Yeah, for Intarsia, you wanna make sure that blade is absolutely straight,
Yep.
because those pieces need to fit together perfectly.
Yeah, and what you wanna do is take a fairly thick piece and cut into it a little bit with the blade, turn it over, and cut right next to that one. And they should be, both of them should be, both saw cuts should be identical.
To make life.
Actually, there's another way to do that. You get it set up, make sure that you've got a flat surface on your little block. You cut it, and then you turn it around just as it is and go up on the back side of the blade. And the blade should fit exactly
Yeah,
in
if
there.
it slides in,
If
then
it's
you know you're
square.
90, yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very critical.
Katie, do you want to?
So you use the Dremel for the rounding and for scooping. Do you have any special tools you use for tapering and lowering and?
I usually do that on that 1-inch belt sander.
Okay.
Cause that cuts it down fast.
It works great as long as you're doing little micro pieces in this big.
Yeah. There's a couple other little things that might be helpful. When you have a piece like this that's very fragile, you just got a little bit of glue holding them together. What I do is after it's all assembled, I take this one and I cut a little groove in where they're joined. And then I take a little piece of wire and lay in that groove.
If you can see in the back there, he's actually got a wire in between reinforcing the smaller pieces. I hadn't seen that before, so that's pretty interesting.
Then what I do is after I lay that piece of wire in there, I take a little bit of baking soda and lay it in there, and then take some instant glue and just put a drop on there, and then in less than 3 seconds, that's rock hard.
Why baking soda?
It's an activator for the glue.
Oh, really?
You can get it's CA glue activator, it's a spray.
Yeah,
You
I've
spray
got
it,
that.
But I think baking must do the same thing, huh?
You don't even have to use that activator with baking soda.
Well, okay, that's a new one, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets just rock hard just immediately. And then it's really stiff.
Yeah.
So the wires, you just laid the wires down? Yep, and then use that glue? Okay, interesting.
Baking soda on it, 1 drop of
That's a good tip.
glue.
That's a
Yeah.
great tip, I wouldn't have thought of reinforcing the wire.
But that's,
Are you using the wires to align or just to reinforce?
Just to reinforce, if you look here, like here it goes from a wide piece to a skinny piece. So this would be kind of weak, because this is a skinny piece. So by putting that wire across the two, you're reinforcing that joint. He's got one up here too. That's actually really a neat way to do it. Because you think about that glue area, that's about, eighth of an inch. You got 1/8 inch glue, that's not much holding much, that wire gives you a lot more strength.
That can fix my road runner.
There you go.
And you're not gonna be putting
Falls apart.
a backing on something that thin either, so.
Right,
That's one way.
that's really neat.
Question over here.
Oh, sure, oh, if there, sorry, yep.
I just learned something about, a tip on gluing. You can use CA glue, put a little bit of glue on one piece, add a little bit of moisture, lick the tip of your finger and put it on the end of the other piece. And you put the two pieces together, and you better have them in the right spot. And it's just like you described, rock hard, instantly. Water, it's just.
Interesting.
And then, I know a lot of people use the spray adhesive to attach their patterns to the wood. But I don't like messing with that stuff. So this is a double back adhesive that I put on the back of my pattern and then cut it out. You put it on the wood, but then your sawdust sticks to the exposed
Yeah, you can have a clean
adhesive,
wood.
and it's kind of a mess. And I found that another company now came out with that. I found it on Amazon. And, let's see. From Dynamo or
So it's Tandayamo, 2 rolls, grill saute for woodworking carving, residue-free removable woodworking template tape.
And
So it's double-sided, so yeah.
It's half the price of the Winfield one. And I just used it on the last project, that's the first time I've had it. And it works really well, but the adhesive is almost too aggressive. So you have to, it may pull off some fibers off of the wood. So it's
If the piece is small enough, I stick it in the microwave for just a few seconds and it comes right off.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't had any problem taking it off, except that it may pull some fibers off the
Raise the
wood.
grain a little bit there, yeah.
Another one thing while I'm thinking of it,
That kind of stuff.
when you're using the drum sanders, it's always good to have a rubber block to clean them frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rubber blocks are great if you use a disc sander, drum sander, anything like that. Those rubber blocks are necessary because they will get clogged. Like I have my big drum sander and I'll run through and it'll get clogged and I just take that block and rub it across, and it's clean, it's working again. Makes your sandpaper last way longer.
Yeah. But then if you use this type of glue bottle, try to pull that out, doesn't work. Well, I made a tool.
That's cool.
Really neat idea.
Yeah, I've got one of those too, yeah.
I cook.
I use Tim.
You always do.
What is that pliers used for? The pliers, right there in front of your left hand?
Yeah.
What does that do?
Trying to remember.
Is that for the wire?
I can't, well, I got the wire already cut. I can't remember what I was gonna use those for.
Is it just the pliers?
Just the pliers.
No, it's okay.
It's up pliers.
Oh, I
I thought it
know.
had a special end
I
on it.
know.
No, it's not special.
It's instant glue.
Yeah.
It's got an inner cap that I can't get off.
Oh, that's pliers.
That's what the pliers are
Okay.
for.
All right.
There's one more thing that, I've talked about before, and that was, making eyebrows
Texture.
and texture. I also use this in place of, Judy Roberts' Wonder Wheel.
Yeah.
And it's just, really small, but it makes a nice little. And I can make a little groove in there for an eyebrow. And then I, just take some glue and a toothpick, and I put just a regular wood glue in that groove. And then I,
Oh, because the finish will look different, it'll kind of highlight it a little bit. Although, okay, you're rubbing sawdust into it. Okay, I see what you did, go ahead.
and then I put, I collect some sawdust from wood, and then I just sprinkle it over that groove with the glue in it, press it down, blow it off, and you get an eyebrow.
Okay.
And that,
That's very clever.
and I use that for almost all the time
Yeah.
for eyebrows.
Wow.
Because they're so small, you can't really cut them, put them
Yeah.
in there unless it's a big head or something, but, that comes out looking natural, and it's got the texture on it and everything.
Wow.
So, any questions on any of it?
Where do you get that adhesive paper there?
This is from Amazon.
Yep. And on the
On
road.
Amazon.
And the Winfield
Yeah.
one, you can buy it from Amazon or directly from Winfield. Amazon is a couple dollars cheaper than direct from Winfield.
Yeah,
You do have to pay shipping on both of them.
yeah.
No prime.
Yeah.
Going back to adding the baking soda, how do you cut that slot? And then that really thin,
Oh, sure, I'll show you here. That was, here we go. He's got a little, goes in a Dremel, looks like a little saw blade. It's got teeth on it, it's literally a miniature saw blade.
It goes in the Dremel.
yeah, actually cut my hand on that years ago.
Yeah, so basically, he's just, yeah. It's just a little saw blade, and he's just cutting a little slot and dropping that wire in. Which is really, really clever.
Need a saw stop.
It's pretty easy to control.
Well, the Dremel, you got variable speed on these too, so if you wanna go a little slower speed, you can go a little slower, take your time.
This one,
It's got a few Dremels.
Yeah, one or two.
I got a couple of corded ones at home, but I didn't bring them. 6 cords.
Always good.
That's all it takes to make a groove.
And do you have a primary wood you use, Clint, or do you just kinda use whatever works for the project?
For what?
What kind of wood do you use? You have,
Oh, I, for the common wood, like, aspen and cedar and those, I just use the big box stores. The more unique one I get from Rockler or Oach Hardwoods. I love them. If you go and get their project woods, you can get whatever width and thickness you want, and their exact dimensions. If you want, I think they start with like 16th inch, and they go up at the 8th inch, and they go up to 3/4
Could you repeat that header again?
Ooch. Ooch.
Ooch hardwood, like ooch.
O-O-O-O-C-H.
OOCH.
Ooch hardwood, yeah. So you're buying all your wood tree at the thickness you need,
Well,
for the most part?
yeah, it varies a lot.
Okay.
Even the common woods that I get, I make them different thicknesses.
Sure, you're
I either use a resaw on the bandsaw or my table saw, I love that, because I can just run it through and I can get 6-inch wide board through the table saw by doing it.
Doing it and flipping it.
Yeah.
So you are resawing. That's the thing about Intarsia, you notice that there's a lot of different depths. So I might have a 1/2-inch piece, I might have 3/8, I might have 5/8, I might have 3/4. That can be tricky because if you're buying, now, I do my own resawing, I know some other people do too. So I'll buy everything rough. So like I've got to stop at Iverson on my way home. I'll go to Iverson Hardwoods, I buy everything that's rough 1-inch, I plane it down, get it all straight, and then I'll cut off whatever I need. If I need a 1/4-inch piece, I resaw it, quarter, send it 1/2-inch, whatever I need. But that can be tricky if you don't have that. That Ooch Hardworks, they will sell you pre-finished in whatever thickness you need. So that's a really nice workaround.
Would you spell the name of that supplier?
We look it up.
O-C-O-C-O-O-C-H.
And where are they located?
Viola, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Viola, Wisconsin.
If you go to our website, on the resources page, it has a list of some of the hardware resources.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
All right, do you have anything else with that?
No.
All right, well, thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate you coming and doing that. All right, that was really great. I mean, I learned a lot. Like I said, I've done a little bit of Intarsia. I'm just trying to start to get into it, but I've got a laundry list of fretwork pieces that need to get done first. So we'll get to it. But I mean, that's what's so great about our membership. We have people like Clint who has a lot of experience and a lot of really great, useful information to share. The wire thing, that was, to me, was amazing. I would never have thought of that. And then also with how you do the eyebrows, I think that's really neat. I hadn't thought about that. Because, you know, I've read the books that you get Robert's books, and they talk about adding texture, and no one said anything, you know, hey, create a slot, take some glue and some darker, take, a piece of aspen and a little bit of sawdust from some black walnut, and you got dark eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, thanks again, Clint, for doing that. I really appreciate that. Other than that, did anyone have anything for me or any questions you want?
Don't forget your mugs.
Don't forget your mugs.
And don't forget your drinking mugs on your way home.
And if anyone who's interested wants to grab one of the sleighs back there, feel free to grab those. And then we also have that drum sander. If anyone's interested in that, make sure if you wanted to grab your stuff from the sale, you grab that. Other than that, like I said, next month is our party and potluck. Like I said, I won't be here, but I will be back in January. And everyone since I won't see you, have a good Thanksgiving, a good Christmas, and we'll see you in January. Then a motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second.
I second.
Second. All right.
Right.
Aye.
Means adjourned.
All right.
Thank you everyone for coming.